What's up, everybody, and welcome to the
Sorry for that
to the
sneeze.
to the show that makes you sneeze every time it comes
Yeah,
on. Ja-
apparently.
Jasmine, if you're gonna mute yourself while you sneeze, you don't need to come back on and say, "Oops, I sneezed." Oh, really?
Whoops.
You want to take that phone call too? Jeez, what is
It's your
happening?
lady. It's
We
your lady.
just started. I guess answer it.
Hey, lady.
Ask her why
Us,
she's interrupting the podcast.
Brett wants to know why you're interrupting the podcast. She said, what are you talking about? Me and Brett are recording. Welcome to the show. Our guest for today is Geraldine. Geraldine, what do you have to say to the people?
I mean, I don't know. Why does he like acting like I beat him up? Because it's
She
true.
does.
Because
She
he
does.
doesn't want to do anything.
She does beat me up consistently. You
Oh,
know, the couple that podcasts together stays together.
okay. I was just calling to get a hold of Brett, and here he is. So thanks for calling me back.
Yeah, I was 10 minutes late to the record because she was having me out in the yard plant a couple of bushes. So I was elbow deep
She
in
hung up.
soil.
She hung up.
Yeah, good.
I was gonna say, ooh, he's trash
Wow, we're
talking you.
already off the rails. Jasmine, how have you been since last we did it? Last we heard from you. It's been a month. It's been a month.
A move. It's been okay. I went to the PA for the Too Many Games convention.
For our
Um,
international listeners, that's Pennsylvania.
it's in Pennsylvania.
It's a state.
And it was a gaming convention. It was pretty fun. I handed out a bunch of stickers and little posts about all the podcasts that we do with Brett and all that stuff. So it was really
With Brett. You mean a pod dog?
pod dog.
It's not just me.
Well,
I mean, I'm involved in the company.
I'll tell you, I was really scared. Did I tell you that I was scared?
No, why were you scared? To hand stuff out
Because
to people?
yeah, to hand stuff out to people because I
Rejection,
did have people say
rejection.
no, and I was like,
Sure, yeah, you're gonna have that. Rejection is part of it. You know, when you're hitting part of the street team and you're just passing stuff out to people, some people are gonna say no. Some people are gonna take it because they want to be nice, and then they're gonna go home and just throw it away. You have to just accept that. But if
yeah,
one person checked out the show because of it, great, welcome. We're happy to have
yeah.
you.
If
Tweet
I
at
met
us
you at Too
at
Many Games in
Jaws
Pennsylvania,
underscore show.
welcome. Thank you so much for being here, for
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah, I've
Appreciate it.
I've
Shout
hit
out
my
to you.
breaking point with social media. I just cannot deal with the pressure of posting for 4 Twitter accounts and an Instagram account constantly.
You have a lot of
I
podcasts.
have no I don't like social media anyway. Like I have a Facebook, but I don't have the app on my phone. So I am
I
not
don't
aware if
access
I'm
social
tagged in
media that
anything
often.
ever. Uh
Yeah, I'm his sister, and I can totally confirm that he's the only the only time he ever sends anything to me is when it's about video games, and that's like the extent of his communication using social media.
well, on like Facebook, I just like people don't need to see what I'm doing, and I don't need to see what people are doing. Like you find yourself scrolling on Facebook for like 2 hours a day, and it's not good for you.
I think we're
And
just
the
a
same
part
is
of
true for
that.
Twitter and Instagram, but luckily I just use those for podcasts, so I don't do a whole.
I
I do Instagram a little bit, but
Well, I
not
think
very
that
much.
we
I can
grew
post it.
up like when I grew up, yes, there was social media, but it wasn't like a huge thing until like late middle school, high
My
school. And then
Facebook was
you,
invented in my sophomore or junior year of high school, and back then you could only be friends with people you were in class, like in like of your high school in your class, and maybe I can't remember if it was like the upper or underclassmen too as well. But if you didn't go to high school with somebody, you couldn't find them. Like, forget about it. Like your family, like, and being friends with people from other countries and long distance, trying to be friends with somebody who didn't go to your school was really hard to do when Facebook first came out.
yeah,
But regardless, I'm taking a sabbatical from social medias. If somebody
you're
wants to
curious.
apply for a social media manager role with Pod Dog, that'd be great. Uh,
We'd
Jasmine,
appreciate it. What?
what?
I also don't access social media that often. The most I use social media for is literally just to scroll and waste
Mm,
time.
yeah.
That's all it is. It's a way to waste
Hop
time.
on the Jawsbreakers Twitter,
Else.
Jaws underscore show, Jasmine, and see all of Jasmine's great posts, dear listener. that she's about to start doing
Oh God.
daily.
Do not put that. No. I don't even get on my own like Instagram daily. Like the only time I do is like
Because
to
that's
watch
for pleasure,
reels.
not for work. Anyway, we watched a movie.
We did watch a movie. We watched the 2022 The Requin or
Requin.
Requin?
The Jacqueline. I have the pronunciation from this is straight from
Ooh,
Wikipedia.
wiki.
Have a listen, dear listener.
Un requin. Un requin.
Wiccan.
Wiccan.
Un requin.
Well, I'm working over
I'm
here. Hey, I'm working over
working.
here.
I'm a working on this show.
For the weekend.
We watched it. We're working.
Working for the weekend.
Working at the
Jazmin, was watching this movie work? Was this a working for you?
A little bit because I'll be real with you. You're gonna find out when we start doing our rating, but it was fine. Definitely not.
It's not the worst movie we ever watched, but it's not particularly like grand either. Hashtag positivity podcast.
Yeah, we are a shark podcast, so I do want to say there wasn't that many shark scenes. Half the movie, 2/3 of the movie was not sharks. Even though they were on the ocean a lot. This movie was also rated R, which
Was it really?
Yeah, I
I'm
looked it
kinda
up and I was
surprised
like,
by
holy
that.
crap. How is this rated R?
What part of it was rated R? I don't understand.
I don't, maybe the blood? I don't know. PG-13 can have blood, can it?
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of like horror movies or even shark movies where there's, I mean, I guess it depends on how real it looks, right? Like even, I don't know. There was nothing in this movie that suggested to me an R rating. Other than that, like children aren't going to want to watch this movie. It's very much a strong.
Maybe
like,
the pregnancy stuff?
Yeah, but they don't really show anything.
Yeah.
It's mostly a drama. This movie about
Thriller, maybe?
a youngish woman
and
her
her
husband. They go on he takes her on a surprise vacation to a resort in Vietnam because they need a vacation because they just lost a child in childbirth.
And she is currently going through PTSD and they're having trouble with their marriage.
Flashbacks. Yep. And so they've gone. He surprised her with this vacation so that they could try to get back to some semblance of normal for them. Because he still very much loves her and she loves him too. But you know, it's a very hard thing. And then, like you said, for most of the movie, it's just a straight drama about this young woman trying to get over the loss of a child. It's not until, I don't know, maybe shortly before midway that
it's an hour 30 minutes, so maybe like an hour in is when you start getting into
I don't know, maybe
shark stuff.
It might be incorrect. It's before that. It's before that. It's about 20 minutes into the movie, so still a substantial amount, maybe even more, maybe one more, like 23 or 4 minutes. This huge storm, like they allude to it as well. Like you see the storm come in on various TV screens.
Oh, guys, they are on one of these, and I've actually wanted to go on one of these. They're on those bungalows that are.
Do you still want to go to one of these? Do you still?
I'm not gonna go during rain. I'm not gonna go during monsoon season. Like that's
they do mention to their family when they're talking to them on the phone that it's like the off season, so it's sparsely, like there's not a lot of people there at this point. So I'm not sure when the off season.
Probably monsoon season sounds like a very good time.
But it did look very tropical and warm, regardless. Like they were like swimming and snorkeling and.
So they were on one of these
let's just get into it,
on the
Jazmin.
water.
Let's talk about the characters.
We got Jalen, who is the main lady. She's played by Alicia Silverstone. If you don't know who that is,
we know who it is.
That was the main actress in Clueless.
Mm-hmm.
I recognized her right away. And then we have a James Tupper who plays Kyle, her husband. You might know him from what is that penguin movie?
Mr. Popper's Penguins or something like that.
Mr. Popper's Penguin. I don't recognize this guy at all.
I've never seen that movie.
And then you have Deidre O'Connell, who plays Anne, which is Alicia's mother in this. She only has like one scene.
So she has a video conference with her sister and her mother at some point.
Jennifer Mudge, who plays
before all this shit goes down. But other than that, you see just a few people that work on the resort, and then later we see a Vietnamese fisherman
Named Danny Chung.
And then that's basically it.
Yeah, there's only literally 6 people listed on the top cast for this movie. There's a tour guide named Kamai. I don't remember this tour guide, but
Jazmin, did this movie come out in theaters? I don't think it did. I believe it came straight.
No, I think this is like a Hulu exclusive movie.
So I do want to point out that this is a straight to streaming movie, which can run the gamut of mostly their budget movies as far as shark movies go.
I mean, it had a really big budget.
If they weren't actually in Vietnam, they were somewhere tropical and Asian. So credit to them there.
No, they were not. Mm-mm.
Okay, but it was still tropical and Asian. Like I bought it, I believed it.
Yeah, I believed it.
It wasn't like like Santa Shark, or Santa Jaws, where most of the movie isn't even in the water. Like they're on a pier. Like clearly some budget movies can't be next to a beach, tropical water. Like our movie isn't anywhere close to the beach, so take that for what you will. This one, at least I bought the location. It looked gorgeous. They had some great underwater shots. I'm sure some of it was stock footage.
It was filmed in Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida.
There you go. But I bought it. Did you buy it? Like, it looked believable to me.
I mean, their budget was $8.5 million for this movie.
Okay, that's not a budget film. I mean, that's cheap for like a blockbuster, but clearly it's not a blockbuster. But you got Alicia Silverstone, who is a megastar in and of herself. Like,
she
you got some really strong name recognition there with her.
And I feel like Deidre O'Connell, I've recognized her in movies before. I don't remember what movies she's in, but I've recognized her before.
And ultimately, I think the acting in this is mostly good. I do want to #positivity podcast. Alicia goes full out. She goes full out in this role.
So I believe it. I believe that she is someone who is suffering, and she's tired, and she's hurting, and she is just going through this ordeal. I believe it.
Spoiler alert for the shark movie. There's some shark attacks later on. She is like screaming, like she's getting her ass beat in this movie, and Alicia Silverstone acted her heart out for this stuff. So she's doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing, and she does it well.
And basically, what happens is a monsoon hits, or a huge tropical storm. Their house actually disconnects from the huge bungalow of the hotel.
That's not really a house. It's more like
that's technically a bungalow.
Yeah, it's like
their bungalow gets detached.
It's like an open air room at the end of like a pier. That's just kind of like you can just jump from it directly into the ocean. So it's not connected by much. But yeah, you're right. The monsoon storm comes, rips them out to sea. Our dude, which we hadn't talked about him much, but before we get to the part where they're ripped out to sea, like we can clearly tell he loves his wife. He doesn't know exactly how to help her deal with this. And as with anybody, all you can do is say, like, it's not your fault. Like, and I still love you. But of course, that doesn't help.
And he's trying to help her move on. Like, he's trying to live their life.
He's trying. And sometimes a little too hard, because he is definitely the wisecracked. Like, he'll make a joke out of anything, which she clearly loves that about him. Like, even though she, like, acts like she's tired of it sometimes, like, she likes that
they're a believable couple.
Yeah,
like,
I get
believable.
I believe it. But yeah, so they get ripped out the storm, and in the ensuing chaos, he gets injured really badly. Like he breaks,
like his leg is broken. Like he broke his leg pretty hard
enough that it like bleeds. So whatever that fracture is, that where the bone comes through the skin, it must have been something like that, because like he's bleeding.
I don't recall seeing bone, but it was definitely like he couldn't move it.
It
so
doesn't
it had to
show
have been
bone
broken.
come out of his leg, but his leg is bleeding. So if his leg is broken, then you would assume that it was because of the bone, unless something also like punctured it from the outside, like some bits of wood or something.
It could have been he got wrecked when the storm was happening. The bed hit his leg and put it at an angle to where it broke it, and then it hit it again.
And I'll tell you another reason why I think it's the bone punctured the skin. It's because he did not stop bleeding throughout the rest of the movie. I mean, he gets very pale from blood loss, and later on in the movie, he's still bleeding profusely. Like you can see it in the tropical water.
His leg is purple a little bit.
Bleeding a ton. So if it was like an exterior wound, like even if it was a deep exterior wound, you should be able to like bind that enough to get it to stop somewhat. That wound was bleeding way too much, which tells me that it's probably a serious break, and like the bone punctured the skin, and they just could not get it.
Or some type of like artery bleed or something like that. but he was bleeding a lot.
No,
And-
if it was
and-
the artery, a major artery, he'd have died a lot quicker than he did because you'd have lost
No.
so much blood that you would have just
She did somewhat kind of tourniquet it, but not really. She took a curtain and just kind of tied it on his leg, which I don't think was definitely enough. But good enough. They're under stress. They're not doctors like how she was in The Shallows or anything like that. Just a normal couple trying to get through this. So they're out in the water. There is some bad CGI a little bit with the storm.
I think it's I thought it was fine.
The raining,
personally.
like the
I thought it was
actual rain
fine.
out the window, like you could kind of tell.
I thought it was
Um,
fine personally. It didn't
I
bother
think
me.
it's fine.
What
It didn't
bothered
bother
me
but-
was the sharks in this movie. It's clearly that thing where when the shark is attacking folks, it's off screen, so you can't actually see it. And then when you do see the shark, it's stock footage of a shark.
Yeah.
And it's painfully obvious up until we get to the end of the movie where they do have a like large CGI shark. This movie is called The Requin. And on its cover, it shows like a giant shark. And we do get a giant shark in the movie, but at the very end, before that, well, we're jumping ahead. So they're washed out to sea, and eventually they see a boat that they can't signal. They eventually see a helicopter that they try to signal by starting a small fire.
Unfortunately,
that
that fire gets out of hand.
engulfs the rest of the bungalow that's floating.
Somehow they just let it.
Not just somehow, it got out of control. Like, what are you going to do? Like, they're both weak, they're both tired, they're just doing anything they can to be noticed, and unfortunately they aren't, and they burn down the rest of the bungalow, and they have to just jump into the water, and now they're just stuck floating on some detritus or some flotsam or jetsam, whatever, Sam.
I will say, props to not making it like the Titanic, where they both don't fit on a piece of plywood. They both fit. They both fit.
There was room for two on the door, Rose.
Yay!
Well, he's not all the way on there. He's like halfway on there with his
Sometimes
like
he
legs,
is, sometimes he's not.
with his like legs hanging off, and they're at this point where they're sunbaked, they're dehydrated. He's still bleeding, like you can see the blood in the water. And until
here come the sharks.
And finally, the sharks do show up, and they do bite him some. Like, they're clear that he's been attacked, like he gets yanked under a little bit, but they manage to fight them off. Here's where the cheesy factor comes in. When Alicia Silverstone's got like a piece of wood and she's like attacking, like just mercilessly attacking water, and there's not anything actually there. It's just off screen, but they fend off the sharks.
But he's way more injured now.
Right. And then we get the impression that some time has passed, and Alicia Silverstone wakes up. Her husband appears to be sleeping. She tries to wake him up, and he's done. He's dead.
This actually happens when they float onto some type of
like a sandbar or something.
Like a sandbar or something like that.
She tries to wake him up.
He doesn't wake up.
He's clear that he's dead.
The sharks go up kind of onto the sandbar and
hold on.
Down in and
hold on. You're jumping the gun. So she like tries to lift him out of the water, and he's missing his legs.
Oh yeah, his legs are
now gone. He's clearly dead, and she's just in agony, and she's like screaming and stuff. And eventually she passes out, and
the fog.
There's tons of fog at this point in the movie.
Like, it doesn't make sense. The amount of fog.
I thought it was fine.
Doesn't make sense.
It's
you can tell it was like a dream though, because it's a fog dream.
Having like a hallucination dream where she's just weak, and she's like got her eyes barely open, and his body's starting to drift away, and then he just stands up and he walks towards her, and now the movie's losing me.
Gotta be strong for our child.
That's inside of you right now. Yep, because she's pregnant again.
She's apparently his ghost says that she's
in a dream. Yep.
In a dream with their baby.
And then when she snaps awake, he's being eaten by his body is drifting away, but instead of standing up, he starts to be eaten by two sharks. And then eventually his body just disappears for good.
And then she gets attacked by a shark the biggest shark in this movie comes up and just takes a big old bite out of her leg and is dragging her like her husband back into the ocean on this sandbar.
A different shark than the two we saw, because the two we saw were human-ish size. This shark is a massive great white.
Yeah. It just pops up on the sandbar like, I don't know how it easily just
was
popped up
hungry.
there, but
It missed out on hubby legs and it was hungry.
yeah, so it just is gnawing at her leg. She attacks the eyeballs because that's what you're supposed to do.
Mhm.
And it finally lets go, but now she has this huge gushing wound. She tourniquets it, and now she's on the sandbar trying to figure out what's
Yep.
going on. Enter fisherman.
Yeah, she climbs over the rocks and she sees our fisherman guy, and he's got his like Vietnamese hat pulled over his head, like he's sleeping in his
bucket, like a bucket.
It's like a bowl.
Barrel, like
It's
a
like shaped like a
barrel
bowl.
type boat type thing.
No, it's shaped like a bowl, and he's just chilling. He's sleeping. You know, he's having a nice time.
And he
And-
is like, okay, I'm gonna help you. I don't speak any English.
Yeah, he doesn't
He's
speak English, but he does sew her wounded leg together
some
with a fish
fisherman
hook.
tools.
And we get more of Alicia Silverstone screaming in agony.
Mhm.
And
Believable. It was believable.
she passes out from the pain, and he's like getting ready to leave, getting his stuff together, and he dives into the water to retrieve his crab trap.
Because
And
he's
of
a
course,
fisherman. He needs his trap.
Well, of course, when you don't go to the, like when you fish or farm for your food, like it's like something like your vital, like a crab trap, is your lifestyle. Like you can't afford to lose
He
something
could
like
always
that. So
see. This is my problem. He could have definitely came back for his trap. He
My-
knew that there was a shark in the water. It had already attacked one person.
okay, you try
I
finding
am
something.
not
You try to
kidding.
find something in the ocean again. My thing is, why didn't he have it tied to a rope and just pull it up, rather than just dive into the water
Might
to
be
retrieve it?
just the
So
way they do things.
I doubt it. I would think it would be way more easier to just tie a rope, because
Well,
that's
no,
what
a lot
everyone
of
else
them
does.
dive and go get the traps. I've seen
Anyway,
videos of
well,
that.
regardless, it doesn't matter. He gets
He goes
attacked by
back
a shark.
in, gets attacked by the
Alicia
shark.
You can say it. Go ahead.
He just gets attacked by the shark. He's trying to get back on the boat. She's not strong enough to pull him back on the boat. He ends up dying. The shark's like, oh, I need more of Alicia Silverstone. So it starts attacking the boat. She ends up
Flips the boat
going,
over.
flips the boat over. She's like in the air pocket underneath the boat. The shark's coming out from underneath her. She's bleeding profusely. She does this move where she like wraps the chain of the anchor around her leg, trying to pull up the anchor. And so when the shark swims up, it actually like swims into the anchor and like pierces its mouth, its
inside
head,
of its mouth, and kills
inside
him,
of the
yeah.
anchor, and it slowly starts to sink to the bottom. And I would think that we both thought that it was going to start pulling her down, and
it starts to.
It starts to, and I'm confused because in the video it's like she like mermaid her legs in this chain, so I don't know how she was going to get out of that with the giant. She did, but she got the shark. She had the shark pulling her down on the chain, so it'll just tighten the chains more around her legs. So I didn't understand that, but she gets out.
Yep.
And I don't remember what happens after that. Does she make it back on the land, or?
Yeah, she flips over back on top of the boat, sees a buoy, and the fog lifts, and she realizes like she's like right next to the resort, and like people.
No, she's not next to a resort. She's next to like the fishing village.
Whatever.
Where that guy came
she's
from.
next to like a beach that has beach goers and actual people, and they look out like oh, what's that over there?
And she just like lays back, laughs, and then they show us like this dangerous sign, and she's like slowly floating towards the danger sign, and she just laughs, and then it zooms out, and that's the movie. And I'm like, well, does she get help? Does she go into more danger?
I think
like,
it's implied that they saved her.
Yeah, but it doesn't really tell you.
I don't think it needs to. I think it's implied that they go out there and get her.
It was fine, and that was the movie. That was the movie.
That was the movie.
It was fine. It was an okay movie.
800 thumbs up.
I don't know about that. The ratings, it got low ratings from IMDb. It got 2.6 out of 10, 19% Rotten Tomatoes, and 41% of Google users like this movie. I can understand. I think I'm in that, like, I can agree with the ratings here, to be honest. But Positivity podcast, it was not bad.
Jazmin, who gets your Jonathan Pinar award?
Of course, Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah, do I want to give it to her?
She acted her heart
You know what?
out.
I'm giving it to our gentleman here. I got to. I think he deserves a little bit of a little bit of recognition. James Tupper as Kyle. So I thought he was
I mean,
great.
that works. I mean, I vote for one and you vote for the other. I
Yeah.
mean, they were a believable couple. Their relationship was believable. Their story was believable.
And
they were
his
normal
character,
people.
I sympathize with his character because I am also the type that would make a joke in a dire situation that would get me in trouble with my girlfriend. So I sympathize.
I will say that they did bring up the fact that he did say that he wanted to divorce her at one point, but they were trying to get through it. And you could tell that was like something that he regretted. Again, very believable relationship, very believable story that these people are both suffering and just trying to get back. Poor Alicia, she lost her baby, she lost her husband, then she found out she was pregnant again and got beat up by a shark.
Indeed.
Poor
Jazmin,
person.
Where does this rank on your eye roll meter?
Eye roll meter. I mean, it wasn't very eye rolly. Like,
I thought it started to get there towards the end.
Towards the end, yes, with the shark stuff because they had to have the sharks. I mean,
so a 50-50 split on eye roll meter. How about brutality? Now, the brutality in this movie is not traditionally like gory or anything but it was pretty brutal from the standpoint of a woman dealing with the trauma of losing a child and her husband all in one and being attacked by a shark and like all in the course of a couple months, I imagine.
And the wounds look pretty realistic.
Yeah,
like the wounds look realistic from the shark attacks.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm also going to give this one I'll give it a 40-60 split.
Yeah, I agree.
And then cheesy factor, it was fine. It wasn't really cheesy up until like his jokes were cheesy, but that was his character. That's fine. It's supposed to be that way. I think it kind of started getting a little bit cheesy towards the end
because they were trying to pack in the shark attacks in the last bit of the movie.
And I feel like some of her acting was a little over the top, but
yeah,
it's fine. Again, 40-60 split. Jazmin, we need to rank this on our movie list. Our shark movie tier list, undisputed. This is the official list of the world, universe, even, dear aliens, should you be listening. This is the list of movies in order that you should watch them, from best to worst, or best to least best, I should say. Bringing up the bottom, I'm just going to read the top five and the bottom five. So the bottom five, we have number 31, Shark Huntress. Number 30, Virus Shark. Number 29, Ice Sharks. Number 28, Sharknado, The Fourth Awakens. Number 27, Jurassic Shark. And then on the top five, we have number 1, 47 Meters Down. Number 2, Jaws. Number 3, 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Number 4, The Shallows. And number 5, Six-Headed Shark Attack. Last month's movie was
The Shallows.
The Shallows, which ended up being, where did that go, Jazmin?
7?
Number 4. I literally just said it.
Oh,
I'm an idiot. Yeah, so The Shallows ended up in number 4. So we had high praise for that movie.
I thought that this was gonna be a better one of the topper movies just because it was a well, you know what I mean, top on the list because it did come out 2020 and it was a Hulu movie. I was hoping to be pretty good blockbuster movie. I think it falls in the middle, to be honest.
In the middle.
Yeah, because to me, half of the movie wasn't a shark movie. The sharks are only like towards the end. I would say 50 of it is them building the story of this couple, which is fine, and then the other half is when they're in the water and then they start getting attacked by sharks. So I'm okay with putting it somewhere in the middle if you want to put it. And I wouldn't say it's the worst movie we've seen. I wouldn't put it in the bottom 5. Because it was newer, the cinematics of this, some of it was really well done.
So Jazmin, if you check the chat, I'm going to send you the full list so that you can look at it.
Thank you.
This list is not the one that I just sent you doesn't have The Shallows on it, but just imagine The Shallows is on number 4.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking from I don't even remember what Shark Night 3D was about. Oh wait, no, the Shark Night
Shark Night
3D had
3D
the
was-
song, right? The song.
Yeah, had like the rap thing at the end, and they also it was like on a lake with some kids and like
Yeah,
some
okay.
rednecks were trying, or hillbillies rather.
I'm
were trying
cool
to,
with it being
kill a bunch of
like
people with sharks.
14 to 20 in those 10.
I probably like. I'm checking here. I probably like Sharknado better than this.
Which Sharknado?
Number 20, no, number 23, the original Sharknado.
Thinking back. Yeah. Yeah. Looking at it, I can agree with you. Because thinking back on it, like watching the Meg and the Sharknado, it is more enjoyable just because of the absurdity of it all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This doesn't scream that. So
So we want to go number 24, the new number 24?
before Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus?
Sure, we can do that.
I can't remember if I like Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus better. I think that was fine.
I can.
You think this was better than that?
Yeah, I do.
I know it's better than Avalanche.
I think it's better than that. I could argue that Avalanche is probably more entertaining than this movie, but I think this is probably a better movie than Avalanche Sharks.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, well, the new number 25, actually, the Requin. The Requin. The Requin.
Working 9 to 5.
So I'll read a little bit above and a little bit below. Number 20 is Shark in Venice. Number 21, Shark and Saw Women's Prison Massacre. Number 22, Sharknado 2. Number 23, The Meg. Number 24, Sharknado. Number 25, The Requin. Number 26, Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. Number 27, Avalanche Sharks. Number 28, Jurassic Shark. So that falls right there, a little bit towards the bottom of the list, but a respectable showing for The Requin. And if you want to see this full list, go to our Twitter at Jaws_show.
Yeah.
Jazmin, it is time for dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. It's movie trivia time.
Yeah.
It's my turn. I got a quiz.
I'm about to fail.
A shark quiz just for you.
Oh, do you want to know a fun fact real quick?
I mean, if ends up being one of my quiz questions, I'll be upset.
Okay. Well, did you know that the title of the film, Requin, is actually French for shark?
Yeah. Thanks, Jazmin, for ruining my quiz. I appreciate that. God damn it. Why don't you just keep your fucking facts to yourself?
Unless
you want to do the quizzes from now on.
No, it was just like a fun trivia thing that was on the website.
Here goes the quiz. How much for a Vietnam resort a night for 10 days? How much?
10 days?
Yeah. So I went to Google. I was curious about what this would cost. So I went to Google and I researched some Vietnamese resorts that were, seaside. And then I scheduled a trip for 10 days.
Okay.
And then I looked at see how much that would cost me a night. Now, of course, plane tickets are not factored into this. This is just how much
they're not?
paying. Nope,
Okay.
This is just how much you're paying for a room a night.
Okay, a room
and there is some variance here because obviously some resorts cost more than others. So if you get any hit any number between A number and B number, I'll give it to you. No, do not. I saw you grab your phone.
I need
put
my
it down.
calendar. I need
Put
a
it down.
I need a
Put
calculator.
it down. No, put
I need
the
a
phone
calculator.
down.
I need a calculator.
Invalid.
I have to do math. You're making me do math. I have to
I'm not
think about
asking
it.
what the total cost is for 10 days. I'm asking for how much a night. How much a night? I'm not
US
asking for
dollars?
the total cost. Yes,
Okay.
US dollar. No, Vietnamese dollars, please.
Okay, it's probably gonna be, and you're not including like food.
No, just the
stay.
stay.
I want to say $300 to $500.
How much?
300 to 500.
All right. Ding ding ding. You get that one.
Yes.
So the correct answer based on my cursory search was between $170 and $530 a night. Pretty affordable, actually.
Yeah, in countries like Vietnam, Thailand, stuff like that, like US dollars goes a lot
So,
farther than what it does in the US.
well, Jazmin, what does the requin mean? What is the definition?
The definition?
Yup.
So it's not the French word for shark?
I'm not going to tell you anything. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Ding ding, you got another one correct. It is French for large flesh-eating fish or shark.
Flesh-eating fish. That's fun.
Jazmin, you stole my question about the requin. I got another question for you. How much does $1, $1 convert to in Vietnamese dongs?
Dongs?
Mm-hmm. And if you get it close, I'll give it to you. How many Vietnamese dongs equals $1?
1 US. 2,000 to 3,000 dong.
Incorrect. It's actually, hang on. I fucked up. What'd you say?
I said 2 to 3.
2 to 3,000?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to get that one. The correct answer is $1 is equal to 23,640.
I was thinking about going
50,
higher.
50 half dongs? I don't know.
I was thinking about going higher because when we went and got won for our trip to Korea, it seemed like I think we got like $500 US dollars transferred to won, and it was like 116,000 won. And I was
You're rich.
I was like, I feel rich.
Jazmin, Alicia Silverstone's in this movie. She's a major star. Can you name 3 other movies that she was in other than Clueless? Go.
I want to look this up.
Too late. Don't look at it. Don't Google it.
I can't remember.
Well, you're gonna have to do your best.
I don't know. I have no idea. It's in my head. Like I see the picture, but I don't know the name.
Just guess. Describe the movie.
I don't even know. I just know what the poster looks like, but I can't remember.
Describe the poster.
I just remember there being some red, and it was maybe like a love story.
Oh boy, I don't think I can give that to you.
No, you can't. What is it? I can't remember.
I mean, she's got lots. She has Batman and Robin as
Batman.
She's got Blast from the Past, Senior Year, The Crush, Goodnight Mommy, Excess Baggage, Book Club, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, Beauty Shop. Yeah, so she's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I was not gonna get that one.
Couldn't do
I'm not one of those people that's like into actresses and actors. Like I'm not gonna be able to.
Okay, Jazmin, name 3 Will Smith movies.
Talladega Nights.
Incorrect. Will Smith is not in Talladega Nights.
I'm thinking of Will Ferrell.
You're thinking of Will Ferrell, which is not Will Smith.
The Legend movie? Legend? The Legend? Is that what it's called?
Incorrect. He's not in Legend. That's Tom
What's the
Cruise.
what's the one with Oh wait, I, Robots?
You mean I Am? Do you mean I Am Legend?
Yeah, I Am Legend.
Yeah, he's in I Am Legend, but the movie Legend is with Tom Cruise.
I, Robot. He was in that robot movie.
He was in iRobot.
And then what's that date movie? That he was like the date coach.
Really? That's the one you're going to?
Yeah. He was in that race car movie that you were a
extra
in, but I have no idea what the name of that movie is.
Well, the movie you were thinking
he was in that movie with his son.
Yeah, I mean these are all movies he was in, but you can't think of the name.
No, I can't.
So you were thinking. So you were thinking of Hitch.
Oh, okay, I was thinking.
Yeah, the race car movie is Focus, and the one with his son is After Earth.
See, I wasn't gonna know that.
But I mean, you could have also said Suicide Squad, Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2. I'm sure there's a Bad Boys 3. I think there's a 4th Bad Boys 4 in the way. I would have said Independence Day personally. He was also the genie in Aladdin. I mean, the point is you knew some movies, so not an excuse. But I guess I guess you can only do.
I
so
don't.
fast so much.
My brain does not pay attention to movie facts or movie
Jazmin,
information.
approximately how many minutes pass in this movie before we see our first shark?
Oh, God, like I want to say like 43 minutes.
Unfortunately, I cannot give you that. That is nowhere close. The actual answer is approximately 26 minutes before a shark is on screen.
When? What scene was that?
The first scene that you see a shark, that's when I marked it down on my phone.
What
and it was
scene?
approximately 26 minutes. I don't remember.
I know there was the dolphins. The dolphins were early.
The dolphins don't count. There were dolphins, but I'm not counting the dolphins.
I feel like that can't be. What
Jazmin,
scene?
as soon as the shark came on, I took a note. Go back and watch the movie, Jazmin, and come back with the correct time next week. So I'm sorry I can't give it to you. Jazmin, you are sitting at you start off hot, you got 2 correct, then you missed one, then you got one. Well, actually you got the first 3 correct, actually. Then you missed the Alicia Silverstone question, you missed the last one there. So you're 3 and 2. So actually pretty good.
Yay.
Got one more.
Okay.
Name one Magic the Gathering shark card. And this totally matters to the movie.
Shark of the Deep?
No.
The Requin?
No. That'd been great though. That'd been great. That'd have been great synergy there. No, incorrect.
Deep dive?
Deep dive would be an act of diving deep, but not a shark. I'll give you a hint since this is a hard one and it's kind of way out left field. And it doesn't even matter. It was just to mess with you. They have one that is literally just the name of a species of shark, and they have one that is close to, it's a play on of a very famous shark movie that was on Sci-Fi Channel.
They don't have a Sharknado card, do they?
I don't know. Do they? Is that your final answer?
I'm gonna say, I guess so. Sharknado.
All right, I'll give it to you. There is a card called Shark Typhoon. And in the art for the card, it is a Sharknado, and it's like, and the card spits out shark tokens.
That's
for you
hilarious.
to attack with flying.
That's awesome.
The other one I was referring to was Hammerhead Shark. You also have Giant Shark, Voracious Great Shark, Chrome Host Seed Shark, Shore Shark, Shabraz the Sky Shark, Spined Megalodon.
Shabraz? What does that card look like? Shabraz
the Sky Shark looks like a great white shark with big feathery wings.
I want that card. You're gonna have to show me that card later.
I will.
Y'all look it up.
I wish I could make a deck around it, but I just can't. It's not something that I particularly liked its ability to do. Battering Crassus, and of course half shark, half blank. Part of one of the unsets.
Half blank.
Yeah, we don't need to get into it. And that's the end of the trivia. Jazmin, did we forget anything?
This movie was directed by Lee Van Keet. You might know him from the movie Fury, the Ancestral, and he also directed this newer movie called The Princess. It was another Hulu movie.
A Hulu movie.
He also wrote this, so it was written by and directed by this man.
What else has he directed?
The Princess, which is the Hulu movie. The Ancestral and Fury is what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it.
The only one I recognize is The Princess, just because I've seen it. I haven't watched that movie, but I did see like the trailers and stuff on Hulu when it came out. Basically like a woman empowering, and there's a princess. She doesn't want to be a princess. She doesn't like the social constructs of being a princess, so she becomes like a badass warrior. The chick from the kissing booth is the lady.
All right. Jazmin, I think then that's a show.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think we've done it. And check us out on all the stuff. Links in the description below.
We didn't mess up.
We didn't. Well, I mean, kind of. This podcast should have come out 2 hours ago.
Ooh, yeah.
So
sorry, we totally just had a busy week and we
so
just
yeah, if that's the reason, if you're listening to this late going, wow, this is going on a different day than usual, it's because, you know, we got to give our patrons a few days of early access. So sorry,
But
that's our
we
bad.
love you.
Yeah, I just kind of like you. I want to be friends with benefits. Anyway, dear listener, follow us on all stuff. Jazmin, you have anything you want to say before we end?
Thank you. And if you are, I know I said this earlier, but if you are somebody that I met and you actually took the time when I went into Pennsylvania and handed out stuff and you checked us out and you're listening right now, I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I was a nervous wreck. Thank you.
Thank you. And don't forget, if I almost did the wrong one. If we're gonna die,
let's die together. Smile, you son of a bitch. Thank you, guys. Ooh, sheesh. Hey. So, I said, hey, so what are we thinking? What's up for debate for what we're watching next?
What's up for debate?
Yeah, what are the choices for Patreon, or did they already vote?
Yeah, it was a tie.
Another tie.
Well, no, it was a tie. It's been a tie since last time. So last time it was a tie between The Requin
that's right.
and another movie, and then Vinny broke the tie. So now we're gonna do the other movie, which is this one that I'm about to show on the screen right now as soon as I share the audio.
You guys can watch the trailer with us on YouTube.
No, they can watch it on the video that they're watching now on Spotify or YouTube. They can watch it.
You can watch videos on Spotify?
You can watch, yeah.
That goes to show you
I
how
feel
much
like I've been saying it so long now. You can watch videos on Spotify.
I had no idea.
If you're watching this right now, you can see us react to the trailer. Like, don't direct people to things that we're not in, Jazmin. What are you doing?
You don't upload this to YouTube anymore?
Yes, I do. They can watch it there as well. Anyway, here's the thing.
I'm so sorry. I really have no idea. There's no
several sky sharks.
Lots of like cutting away sound footage.
But they can fly.
What? That's pretty good CGI.
It reminds me of Sharks on the Moon.
It's actually really good CGI.
Look at this zombie Nazi.
Zombie Nazi.
Best air marshal between Paris and Lyon. No flying fish stands between me and my passengers.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Dies on plane.
It's under martial law. It's the only way that we can be safe. Continue to work on the solution.
Eat him. Is that like electromagnetic sharks? What was that?
That's what I like to see.
Woo! Sky sharks.
Sky sharks. Wow.
Fuse box film.
Wow.
Nice. Wow.
That'll be exciting. And we'll be watching that. Let me check the calendar real quick.
Because we actually haven't decided when we were going to watch
September.
it. Right?
We'll be watching it in September. Next month in August, we will be doing our Shark Week celebration, where we'll be watching a whole bunch of Jaws movies. So get ready for that, folks.
I had no idea. Yay!
Yeah, you should know. And Shark Week is every year. So
when is Shark Week?
I mean, I don't remember specifically, but it's in August. So
you should know.
That in August. Do you know? You didn't even know you were going to do it, even though I've told you before. What is this, Jazmin? You don't remember anything I tell you. You're going to forget again, and I'm going to be like, hey, when you want to watch all those Jaws movies, and you're going to be like, oh.
Shark Week begins July 23rd.
Yeah, this year it does, but our Shark Week is in August.
I don't recall you telling me this. You're gonna have to send it to me. I look forward
Probably
to
it's
it.
probably going to be the end of August, I should say, like the tail end of August.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, yeah, I'm excited. I didn't
Yeah.
know, but now I know, and now everyone else knows.
Okay.
To be excited for August.
Goodbye,
Yay!
goodbye, dear listener.